Chase Brown smashing in that touchdown at the end to win the game. Bengals 17, Giants 7. Joe Burrow not doing much for you. Jamar Chase, very disappointing outing across the board. This is one of the worst Sunday night games we've seen in a long time. There were some bright spots. We're here to break that down. Also break down the Chase Brown touchdown run. Look, he had another touchdown in this game called back. So let's not pretend like he didn't have a day. If you actually weren't a box score Bobby and you watched this thing play out. Chase Brown is doing Chase Brown things. Chase Brown! We've been yelling that all offseason for a reason. I admit, slow start. Didn't expect a week 1, week 2. Goose eggs practically. But he's coming around. He's a bona fide elite running back 3. Maybe even a low-end running back 2, depending on how your team is structured. We're breaking down the game. We're breaking down the week number 7 waiver wire show and waiver wire rankings on screen right here. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Always live after games. So after the Sunday morning and afternoon slate of games, the whole chunk of it, we go live. Right before the Thursday night game. After the Thursday night game, we go live. After the Monday night game, we go live. After the Thursday night game, we go live. That's how we roll. That's in conjunction with your boy going live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. Additionally, going live whenever big news breaks. And we go live most midnights. We go live more than anybody. When are we not live? Actually, I should redo this graphic and maybe put up when I don't go live. Because quite honestly, that's probably the more likely thing you can remember. What a mixed bag today was. Marvin Harrison Jr., Mike Evans, Chris Olave. Injury after injury after injury. Concussion after concussion. It was just a mixed bag day. We had some good notes. We had Tank Dell citing finally. Bijan scoring 2 touchdowns. Really could have had 4. We had a whole lot of good and a whole lot of bad, to be honest with you. It was a crazy week. But I remind everybody to look around your league and take a gander at who exploded. A lot of people struggled. There might be a team or two that scored the 120s or 130s or 140s, or maybe someone's got 180 and had the right combination of players. But keep in mind that a lot of people struggled. You're not the only one, nor does it matter. We're going to get back on the horse no matter what situation you're looking at. Maybe you did good, but not great. Maybe you did great, and we're going to continue on that path for you. But if you did bad, stop licking your wounds. Let's stand up. Let's go do something about it. Let's hit the waiver wire. Let's hit the trades. Let's adjust and adapt. And remember, you're one trade away from getting rid of all of your sorrows. You could miss that if you keep licking your wounds and you got your head down and you're licking your wounds and the trade offer goes right by you and you have no idea. Or the worried William who's trying to get rid of JT injured right now runs right by you. Or the Jahmyr Gibbs owner thinks that Gibbs is going to be trashed the rest of the way and you could trade for him on the low. There are opportunities to be had, but you have to have your eyes open and stop feeling sorry for yourself if you had a bad season or having a bad season, or you're 1 win right now, 2 wins right now, 0 wins right now. I've seen people come back from 0 and 6, handfuls every single year, handfuls of people. Hundreds of people out of thousands, obviously, but hundreds and hundreds of people come back from an 0 and 6 deficit, squeak into the playoffs, have just the right seeding for whatever reason, and they just smash all the way through. Don't give up. Let's get to it. Week 7 waiver wire. Isaac Guerrero and Mostert and Bigsby and Tracy kind of lead the way. You really could put Tracy atop of it. You could put Tracy even ahead of Mostert. You could put Bigsby here. ETN injured his hamstring but didn't do anything, so I could see you doing this. Guerrero and Tracy, these could be the top 2 picks for the week. You could even crown both of them as the best pickups of the week. Now, Tracy's available in, I think it's 45% of leagues. That is quite a number of leagues he's available in. This is not somebody that's barely missing the cut. Tracy's available in, 45% of fantasy leagues across the board. That's crazy. So he is a great add. I don't want to hear these aren't available in my league, Smitty. We've got a deeper list than just that, but 45% is a huge number. Isaac Guerrero is available in 90% of leagues. Maybe he doesn't start this week. Maybe he does. Maybe Mason's still limited and they get Guerrero heavily involved. Who knows? But he's a must grab. Algier's always getting work, whether Bijan scores his 2 touchdowns and has 6.0 yards per carry on his 90 yards like he did tonight. Guess what? Algier's still going to do good things. He's available. Algier's available in 60% of leagues. Mostert's available in, I think it's, I got it written down here somewhere. Mostert's available in 30% of leagues. Barely missing the cutoff. 33% is about where I cut the line in the sand. Make sure Kareem Hunt, Chase Brown, Bucky Irving aren't available. These guys are under 20%, in many cases 14 to 18% available in your league. So these are the buy low running backs we'll get to in a second. And there's no better buy low running back other than Jahmyr Gibbs right now, because of not only the panic of the contract that Monty got, the extension, the 2-year extension, but the fact that Gibbs didn't get fed a ton in this game. Even actually, strike that. They had very similar, if not even, carries. It was just he didn't get the touchdown opportunities or score on his touchdown opportunities where Monty did. Panic Peters everywhere will be getting rid of Gibbs, and we're going to be there to take him from those Panic Peters. I can promise you right now, Gibbs will be available a lot cheaper than he should be in leagues where someone would trade him, meaning that I can't help if Bill from accounting is a Detroit Lion fan and he's not trading Jahmyr Gibbs. But I will tell you he's available in more leagues than he should be, and very vulnerable to go get via trade right now. So Juju, probably the top wide receiver available. Legette's up there. Mooney's up there. Downs is clearly up there. But, Downs, what happens to Downs once AR5 is back? We'll have to see how that plays out. Will they even bring AR5 back? Probably. His coach has already said he won't lose his job to injury. He almost played in this game, but they held him out. You got to wonder what they're thinking, though, in Indy as far as giving AR5 more time, or giving Flacco more time, you could say. Tua Tagovailoa, actually, shockingly, is available in 50% of leagues. So if you need a quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa is out one more week. The Miami Dolphins had their bye this week, and they'll be bringing this man back a week after that. So week 8, roughly, is what we're expecting anyway. Drake May looked absolutely phenomenal for a rookie. He did. He looked fantastic. He's available. I believe it's in a crazy 85% clip. This guy's available. Flacco's available, I believe, in something around 75 to 80% of leagues. Vidal is available in almost, 80, 90% of league. I think it was, 80? I think it was 80 or 90% of leagues. So Vidal, the running back for the Chargers, might get more work. Bigsby, again, is available in a crazy amount of leagues, given that we talked him up so much last week. I think it's around 30. Oh, yeah, he was the one that barely missed the cutoff. It was about 30%. So Bigsby's almost off of this board and belongs maybe up here with Hunt, Brown, and Irving. These are just reminders. These guys are not really on the list. I just want to make sure if someone's watching right now and Hunt's available, he's the top pickup of the week, because he's not even on the board anymore. Chase Brown, top pickup of the week. Bucky Irving, top pickup of the week. These guys they're not available in even 18% of leagues across the board, whereas Tracy is. Again, Tracy's availability is about 45% of all leagues he's available. So if I had to crown the top pickup of the week, it would probably be Tracy or Guerrero. Juju's a nice ad, a very nice ad. It's actually kind of wild that we're in week number 7 and we still have some pretty solid options, including Mostert available, like I said, in a big amount of leagues, considering people cut him, so 30 to 33%. Again, barely making the cutoff of my 30 to 33% availability to make my board. But I think it's worth putting on here just because people forgot that they cut him. They didn't have room. We had so many injuries and bye weeks. They let him go because he was on a bye. and they're trying to maybe pick him up walking right into week 7. So check your availability, your player availability, see if he's sitting there. Jalen Wright also has lots of upside. Probably more of a long-term, like double-digit weeks is when Wright maybe gets in there if Mostert can't stay healthy. But yeah, I'd say Garendo and Tracy have that maybe league-winning or close to league-winning potential. Garendo, if he was starting, would have that 9 out of 10 potential value for winning a league. Bucky Irving has that 9-ish value for winning a league. Now, what happens with Rashad White when he comes back? Who knows? Sean Tucker, an exciting player that we liked coming out of college, but just kind of didn't do anything until right now, and we don't know what his status is going forward, but they definitely like him. So him and Irving are kind of like in the mix for carries right now, and then Rashad White, we'll see what happens when he's back and healthy. We got Dowdle. You could probably put Dowdle up here. Davis still has his game to play, and Cook is expected to play, but Davis would skyrocket up if he was able to get some work. Sermon's in this mix. You can see the board for yourself. A lot of decent players available, but the league winners are kind of, they're getting slimmed down, right? There's not a lot of players that feel league winning. They're kind of more like, this is going to assist me in winning a league. An accessory, not necessarily a staple, except for, if Irving or Chase Brown or Hunt were available. But, Garendo's probably still, no matter what he does, if he did start, let's say, week 7, week 8, whatever, he's still going to have competition in Christian McCaffrey and Mason. So it's hard to envision Garendo unless there's major injuries, like a re-injury to Mason that keeps him out longer, even though he's day-to-day with the grade 1 AC sprain. So he's likely, Jordan Mason, with the 10 days of rest since the injury, likely to probably play week 7 if I had to guess. But there's a chance maybe it's between a grade 1 and a grade 2. And we'll know more probably tomorrow. But if that were the case and Garendo, started playing football on a regular basis, maybe he holds off Christian McCaffrey to a 50% volume share just as they keep McCaffrey healthy. There's no way McCaffrey just steps right into his old role. I don't see that happening. In a sense, it feels like CMC's cooked in terms of his old value. But these are all very good players. Juju has the crown from the wide receiver side of things. And again, Juju is available in 70% of leagues. These would be my two long-term, season-long top pickups of the week, Tracy and Juju. And then again, Garendo would share this with Tracy if we're talking about like shorter term. On the pass catch or the QB side of the fence here, Tua's a nice grab, May's a nice grab, Bo Nix looks good at times, Flacco's obviously pretty good. Darnold's surprisingly available in a ton of leagues still. Darnold's available in 40% of leagues, which is wild. Cole Kmet is available in 30% of leagues, so he barely made the cutoff. Ertz is available in, I want to say it's something like, I have it written here somewhere. Ertz, where did I write it down here? I have it somewhere around here. I want to say it's something around like at least 40% of leagues he's available in. These are your waiver wire grabs for week number 7. Of course, they are subject to change. And this is the only channel I think you'll find that does waiver wire every day. What do I mean by that? First of all, I go live more than anybody on planet Earth probably, or close to it at least. And when we go live, we reference the waiver wire on Tuesday, on Wednesday. We're talking, we're taking phone calls, we're answering super chats, and I'm constantly addressing waiver wire guys. Even after waivers process for most everybody on Tuesday late night, I'm still talking about it on Wednesday. Hey, who do you have? Hey, Smitty, I got to make a drop. Smitty, I got an injury now on a Thursday. Didn't know I'd be encountering this. Who do I pick up? And I say, well, waivers processed. I'm sure the top half of these guys got picked up on Tuesday, but here's my board. It evolves. We constantly reference it, while other shows probably don't ever show you a waiver board ever again. It's one time, it's a video, it's edited. I'm all live, baby. This is the production. It's all live all the time. Practically, I mean, we do uploads, but this is how we roll. So I'm here to answer your questions. I hope you tailed my picks this morning that I did live on the kickoff show, because I said I was going to drop $50 to $100 on this particular one right here. So here is the actual, at the time of doing it, it was higher on Henry touchdown, higher on Gibbs 59 yards, higher on Monty touchdown, higher on Breece Hall, 51.5 yards, which is TBA. And Tank Dell higher than 52.5. And this right here, it all smashed. Again, we've been hitting this like nearly every 2 out of 3 weeks. We're hitting the actual picks that I put up on the screen for everybody to tail. And the only one that this is awaiting is Breece Hall. So congrats to anybody that during the live show this morning that copied these picks. Congrats to you because you're cooking.
Let him cook.
All right, let's handle these super chats and let's do it live. Appreciate you all. Who had these? Who had these? Anybody tail these in here in the live chat right now? I hope there are some people in here that did it because you made out like a bandit. David with the $20 hauler, you're going to get immediate attention. David, appreciate you dropping your $20 hauler. Made a league-winning or lap trade by trading away Neighbors for Hall and Wandell. I don't think that's... Look, it could go either way. You need a receiver? I don't mind that. You need a running back? I don't mind that. If I'm drafting today, I'm drafting Breece Hall ahead of Neighbors. We'll find out if that looks like a bad situation later. I think the reason that they fired their head coach in New York and the reason that they changed their play caller is because they weren't running the ball. Breece Hall had 4 yards rushing one of the last 2 weeks. 4 yards the entire game. I believe it was about 22 or 25 yards the next game. And so he had under 30 yards in 2 straight contests. His last 2 games, Breece Hall has under 30 yards rushing combined. People get fired when that happens. That's like having a $2 million race car that goes 300 miles per hour and you enter a bunch of races. You're the manager of that car, right? And you have 3 scheduled races and you literally send your race car driver out there with the car that goes 180 miles an hour max, and you leave the 300 mile an hour race car just sitting there in the garage, and you keep losing race after race. And the owner of the thing walks up to you and says, "Bro, you're leaving Breece Hall in the garage. Why?" "I don't know." "You're fired." Who's calling the plays as well? He's fired. And what do you think's going to happen with the shakeup? They're going to feed Breece Hall. Breece Hall is going to eat. Because when Breece Hall gets carries, Breece Hall scores. When Breece Hall gets touches, Breece Hall scores. When Breece Hall gets cooking, he pulls in 70 to 80 receptions on the year. Trade for a wide receiver. I would say with this squad, bro, you got a really good team. In order to get a receiver, you're going to have to tear something up. I would say maybe, what a good running back stable you got. Maybe you could sell Bijan on the high to go get like a Tyreek Hill and still feel very good about that, or a receiver a little bit higher than that even. You know, maybe you can go get a JJ. Maybe CeeDee Lamb is attainable. The most buy low wide receiver of the 2 most buy low win a league players for week number 7. The video is coming out tomorrow. And there's not even hesitation in my mind. It is Jahmyr Gibbs for obvious reasons. He had a bad week, and everyone's freaking out about the contract. Everyone's saying things like he's second fiddle to Monty, as if we didn't experience this last year. And actually, it was week 7 where it changed, and we're walking into week 7. He's bye week free. Gibbs is a home run. It's a home run, especially at a discount now. Even if I'm wrong and he's not, by far and away the top 5 running back that a lot of people doubted from this point moving forward. Let's say Monty does have a slight edge over him. And I'm not, and in no way, shape, or form, it's funny how people don't hear me. They listen to me, but they don't hear me. I still like Monty. Monty still scores points. Monty is actually a really good player. And Monty's a fantastic fantasy football asset. 100%. This has nothing to do with it. They run the ball so much. It's just how it shook out. Gibbs and Monty got near the same carries. If Gibbs' touchdown opportunities were a little bit better lined up, he would have had the 2 touchdowns. Don't make the mistake of thinking that Gibbs won't have his 2 or 3 TD game and Monty has 45 yards rushing and no touchdowns. It's going to happen. No better buy low than Gibbs. We'll address it later. No better buy low than CeeDee Lamb right now. who lives in shambles. I get it, but the cost of entry is low. David, that's who I'm going after, if I can help it. All right, let's hit these other supers and get going here. Would you trade Debo, Najee, and Kraft for Gibbs? I think that's a lot to give, but I think at the end of the day, if you need an RB, I would do it. And I think your receiving room looks good enough that I would take this gamble. If I were you, I would take this gamble. It's a good gamble to take. Is there risk involved? Yeah, but there's a risk involved in not doing the trade as well. 2 and 4 in a 10-man PPR league. Trade Nico Collins and Terry McLaurin for Tyreek Hill and Marvin Harrison Jr. I would take the gamble on MHJ, not worrying long-term about his concussion. And I would definitely say that side feels a little bit more attractive because you're 3 games, maybe more, we don't know, without Nico. So you have only Terry McLaurin versus Tyreek Hill and Marvin. I think that's a very good gamble on the Marvin and Tyreek Hill side. The Dell is open for business. It sure is, pal.
One Tank Dell special, please. Coming right up.
Thank you.
Yes.
And even though Bijan still got a little bit of a pest in Algier, it's like Bijan could have 4 touchdowns. He still did what we believe he's capable of doing. Do I hit this button acting as though Bijan is scoring touchdowns like this all year or has been? No. Do I fear that he could go back to not getting touchdowns next week? Whatever. I do. But for right now, I think we're afforded the ability to hit the Bijan touchdown button when he scores double-digit touchdowns in a game.
Hi.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special message from the Bruce's mother.
Get Bijan.
Hi. My name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
I even said if Bijan didn't bounce back on at least some level, I would take his own Bijan card away.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
But we're not doing that. Bijan is Smitty approved this week, thank God.
You've just been Smitty approved.
The deli is open for business. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Eric to the moon. And he could have had such a better day, too, Tank Dell. Another touchdown left on the table, but, none of it was his fault. He did a great job. Offered Achane for K1. I have a weak running back room, but no QB. I'd rather have Achane. I'd rather go get Dak on the cheap. I'd rather figure out a cheaper way to address this problem just because Kyler will be up and down. And Achane's bye week free now, bro. That's a huge advantage to get to toss away. Miles need 28 points. You have Kincaid, Coleman, and Tyler Bass. 1 and 4. What are my odds? What's the percentage in your app say that the likelihood of either one of you winning is? I'd guess 28 points. I'd say it probably says 28% likely. That's a tall order. I'm not gonna lie to you, Miles, but hey, man, I've seen crazier things happen. Crazier. I ended up trading CMC, Tony Pollard, and Dell for Kyron. I would have done that too. Kyron, AJ Brown, and Braylon Allen. Bro, I would have taken Kyron. I was about ready to shake. It would have been hard to do because there's a lot, and then I saw AJ Brown. Jeez, bro. Why do I miss CMC though? You miss the thought of CMC. This is like when your girl breaks your heart and you're like thinking about before you got your heart broken, that version. The version of CMC that didn't break your heart is gone, bro. CMC's not there anymore. Okay, he's not there anymore. 1,000 people in the building, punch that thumb up button, and please subscribe if you're new. If you're one of the new people watching, hit that subscribe button. You found your new home. We go live more than anybody after each game. Every single night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Punch that thumb up button. Hit that subscribe button. Next super chat is from this guy, Steele. I ended up. I just read this one. Great trade, bro. Great trade. This one's from Chris. Chris, appreciate you. Chris says, I ended up trading. God, that's the same one. I don't know why they're repeating. Okay, I think I got him cleared. Considering Xavier Worthy for McBride straight up. If you need a receiver, I'm fine with it. If you need a tight end, I'm fine with it. It's very even. Very even trade. I got Xavier, Keenan Allen, Kirk, Neighbors, Slayton at wide receiver. I would, if that's all you got, you're too thin to trade Xavier Legette. But if those are your backups or something, then sure. I'm fine going and getting McBride. That's a very even trade. Picked up Chase Brown and Cooper Kupp on waivers, 4-2, 10-man league. Man, I can't believe someone dropped Cooper Kupp. Fantastic job, bro. That's a grandma league. But hey, you know, anybody that says grandma leagues aren't fun, look what he's doing. He's having a great time. Best tight end, Ferguson, Ingram, Kmet, or Hawkinson. Right now it's Kmet, but I would probably rank it as Ferguson, Ingram, Kmet in that order. Obviously not including or considering what's happened already, right? If you could trade for previous points, of course we would. Sorry to hate, but Chase Brown is selfish bum, says Mac. What's making you say that, pal? Sorry, I'm choking on my laughter. $20 holiday. Chase Brown? Chase Brown?
You've just been Smitty.
Selfish bum. Scoring touchdowns instead of Burrow. 12-man, 0.5 PPR, 1 QB, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Miss Smitty's about ready to cut Burrow. I'll tell you that right now. She ain't happy. He blew up on her bench last week, and now he bombed on her bench this week. I forget who she's got at her other quarterback spot, though. Green Thumb's mad at Chase Brown. He's calling him a bum. Okay. He also had another touchdown that didn't count and got called back. So you could call a 2-touchdown man a bum. If he had that other touchdown that was called back on a holding call, that would be 5 touchdowns in 3 games. I don't think bums score 5 touchdowns in 3 games, but he only did score 4. So technically, he's still not a bum. 12-man, 0.5, 1 PPR, QB, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex. 5-1. I have A-Rod, Kyler, Godwin, Chase. Okay. Trey McBride got offered Hill, JT, and Dobbins for Godwin, Higgins, and Adams. Got offered Tyreek Hill, JT, and Dobbins for Godwin, Higgins, and Adams. Look, you've got the Godwin points. No one's taking those away from you. Like when you trade Godwin, you're not sending those points along with the trade. And I think so many people gravitate toward what Godwin just did. 2 touchdowns, monster game, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, look phenomenal. And he's had big games this year. And I think him and Evans will rotate. Now, Evans got hurt. It looks like it's a hamstring. He came back into the game, but he was clearly hampered. So you got to consider that. But at the same time, bro, Hill is getting Tua back after 1 more week. He's had his bye week already. And JT's going to come back. I'm taking the Tyreek Hill JT side and Dobbins side. I maybe flip Dobbins. I really would consider that, but you almost gotta take that side. You don't even know what Adams is, at this point. Thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Scary Terry and Bucky for CD. Take CD and run from them veto police that shouldn't even be vetoing to begin with, because vetoes are ridiculous. Does Rattler steal Carr's job? He might, bro, because Carr's out at least 4 to 6 weeks, so there's a lot of time to try out here. You don't take a rookie out once he's been in that long, and if he's doing well. You don't. You lose your job to the heir apparent if they're starting 6 weeks. Trade McBride, Swift, and Downs for MHJ, Ingram, and Moss. I think at this point you got to assume that McBride and Swift and Downs is the better side, Jordan. At some point, you got to say, okay, maybe in the future I change my mind, but right now, I mean, that's probably the better side. Won my week thanks to Tank Dell. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Very thankful. Which duo is better, Hurts and Kelsey or JD5 Bowers? I'd probably say Hurts and... God, Hurts was good today. I'd say Hurts and Kelsey safer. JD5 and Bowers is higher risk, higher reward. They're both rookies. As much as I'm the biggest JD fan and biggest JD predictor and supporter you will find on planet Earth, I promise you that. Everyone in here can vouch for that. There's no one that predicted JD5 to be as good as he is, like me, or like this channel, or like our community as a whole. Nobody. I don't care what you think you know. Nobody. If you just got in here and you think you know, you don't know. This is the highest channel and community on JD5 you will find on planet Earth. He is a rookie. Him and Bowers both could have some ups and downs. It happens. You kind of saw, I don't want to say a bad game from him today, but like you saw ability to not score, maybe as many points as a player scoring 3 or 4 touchdowns. Like it happens. He has a game that's good. But the upsides with JD5 and Bowers, these are potentially the number 1 players at their position for the future, and we're going to see flashes of it all year long. A little bit up and down flashes of it. Hurts and Kelsey have been doing it, but is Kelsey going to drop off? He got injured. He's had the bye week to heal his knee injury. They didn't really talk about it, so it's not a big deal, but he did get kind of hung up and looked like he hurt his knee a little, kind of like limped a little bit away from the game into the locker room at the end. But he's got a whole week to recover. I'm sure he's fine now. If you want safety, Hurts and Kelsey. If you want high risk, you're willing to take the risk, and the reward's tremendous, but the risk is there, then you'll probably go with the JD5 side. But that's totally up to you, bro. It's an even trade. How's that? CD for Garrett Wilson and JT, I think it's a little rich. As much as I love CD, there is turmoil. There's a reason why he's cheap right now. Garrett Wilson and JT, you got to think long term is still the better option, probably. Tough to say depending on your depth though. Who's running back 1 in New York, Tracy or Singletary? Probably Tracy, but don't be surprised if they don't have like a committee still, because some coaches don't just give the job away when a player goes down, and Singletary was, doing well, so it's kind of like probably going to be 50-50, and then the coach will let the play dictate, and then the hot hand will take over. And if Tracy's the hot hand, and I think he is, he might just absorb it all, through osmosis, fantasy osmosis. Glad Brown was selfish, won by 2. Opponent had Higgins. Attaboy Castro, appreciate you dropping it like it's hot. Bravo with the $20 super chat, gets immediate attention. Someone drop Pacheco, current running back room, Kamara, Kyron, HM, Mostert, Brooks, and IR. Should I pick him up? You could maybe drop Mostert for him, but bro, I would try and trade like Brooks in some deal that makes sense, not just to get rid of him, because I like Brooks a lot. But man, Chuba is still very good. I would get rid of Brooks in an attempt to get like Tyreek Hill, open up your IR spot, and draft Pacheco for it. Or pick Pacheco up for it. You know what I'm saying? But do a trade. Don't do a release. I need wide receivers. Who can I trade Barkley for? CD Lamb. Honestly, I'm going to end it right there. Like, that's what you need to get. Barkley easily should be getting CD Lamb. Easily. And you might even get more. And JJ, that's it. That's the only names I'm going to give you. Smitty, did JK's price just go up? Need a wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, you might have to couple someone with him and go get Hill. You could try doing some bigger trade to get CD Lamb. You could try getting maybe Mike Evans injured if you like that kind of thing. There's some risk involved, but CMC, Zay Flowers, 2026 first for Jamar Chase. I take Jamar Chase and I run. Do I like Flowers? Yes, but look, Lamar's inconsistent with using his players. You think, if you own Flowers, you think the page has been turned and it's just, glory, butterflies, buttercups, roses the rest of the way. Let me tell you something. This guy never has a top 25 receiver for a reason. He moves around. He changes it up. Look how locked and loaded Isaiah likely felt coming off his monster game early in the year, and then he doesn't use him. Look how absent Flowers has been for a while. I love Flowers. I really do. He was a moon man. When people think I don't like Flowers, I ask you to remember that he was a moon man when no one even believed in him. Okay, we believed in him before anybody else believed in him. But the situation is something that in Dynasty, I'm getting Chase, I'm doing it. Planning to trade Kittle, Garrett Wilson, and Javonte for Godwin and Saquon. Of course you are. Why wouldn't you? My running backs, absolutely. Smash that, Jack. I'd even give up something small if I needed to get that done. It's a home run if I've ever seen it. Won my week because of the Moss fumble by 1 point. Fingers crossed for MHJ. Yeah, hopefully he gets back right away. Hard to say. These concussions are very bad this year. I wonder if something's going to come out and they say we decided to make the helmets out of recycled, tinfoil or something and made into a composite that was supposed to be strong. And we find out something crazy, because what's going on here? Explain to me how the concussions are in the fencing category, like constantly now. Like you have a concussion, you're missing a full game, essentially. You're in a fencing position a majority of the time. You tell me how this is happening. Is maybe this having to do with some of the tackling rules and confines of, like, I'm not saying like the hip drop tackle, like, but things like that it's making players get tackled differently? I don't really know. It could be 100,000 different things, but this is wild to me. 5-1, Hurts, Kyron, Gibbs, Tyrone, Tracy, Algier, Jonathan Brooks, Jamar, Chase, AJ Brown, Downs, Wicks, Kraft. Any moves? Probably going to say Kyron, Gibbs, Tracy, Hurts, and Jamar, AJB taking it to the promised land. The only thing I'd even consider doing, if you can move one of the tight ends, sure, great. Or JSN, maybe. Josh Downs, maybe. Brooks, Algier even, maybe. Tracy, maybe. I'll keep Gibbs and Kyron, but Tracy, if you can get Hill somehow, you can get even an injured MHJ using a JSN and Brooks, if you will. Like that makes sense to me. An injured Evans, coming back from injury, Cooper Kupp. Would I trade Brooks for Puka in your situation? Actually, I would. Puka's going to be Puka, Gibbs, and CeeDee Lamb. They're going to be very hot commodities on this channel walking into this week. You're going to hear a lot about it tomorrow. Can we get a moon shot from my little girl? Absolutely.
To the moon.
Moon.
To Mars.
Mars.
To Saturn.
Saturn. Send her to all three. She got a huge W this week. I took a tough L by 4 points thanks to Dak and ETN. Should move to the first and me to second. Okay, so she's in first place. Well, that's okay. Keep it in the family and win that first and second place. Proud of her win. Can we? Oh wait, didn't I just read that one? What did I do? Won my week thanks to Tank Dell. Thank you, says Jimmy. Appreciate you. Who's the running back one? I think I'm all caught up. Cam, did I get to Cam's? Cam, did I not get to your super chat here? I feel like maybe I didn't get to this one yet. Okay, I haven't got to this one yet. I haven't got to this one yet. I haven't got to this one yet. And I haven't gotten to Kai's yet. So I think those are the only... If I haven't addressed your super chat, and then Q's. If I haven't addressed your super chat, let me know and I'll find it. But I think this is all caught up. Downs for Tyreek, of course. I mean, Kai, that red light's getting to you, pal. Because Tyreek for Downs, you should be giving up 7 Downs players for Tyreek Hill. Like, that's wild. Yes, absolutely. If that's your idea of a trade, it's going to get rejected. But if someone sent you that, take a lap for not accepting it, then take another victory lap after, and let us know if you got it done, because I'll be doing a case study on that. Honest thought on Neighbors long term. See, this is what I'm talking about, Christian. I'm not trying to call you out either. I'm just merely trying to highlight that there are people that are asking questions about what do we do with Neighbors. A lot of people assume a lot of things. There's a buy opportunity. Someone said 100 Josh Downs is for Tyreek Hill. There's a buy opportunity here because I think there's a little bit of it, but it won't last long. The moment they say Neighbors is fine, he's ready to go. He's looking real good right now. He could have played. We just played it safe. He's a lot better. He's going to pass the protocol by Tuesday. He'll be fine. That's the moment that it goes out the door. Okay, so understand your window for buying Neighbors is really low. He's still a top 6 wide receiver. Maybe 6, we'll call it 6 to 10, Christian. So if you've got him, hold him. If you don't have him, buy low now. So glad Tracy showed up. I sat Najee and was about to crash. Yeah, that's good. I mean, Najee had a good day, but Tracy did well, so you should be plenty happy with that. This one here from Q. Q says, 12-man, Purdy, Baker, Gibbs, Kyron, Monty, nice team. St. Brown, Nico, nice team. Deontay Johnson, Keenan Allen. I'd probably sell Keenan Allen on the high. Not that I think he'll be trash. How would you offer for Tyreek? So Keenan Allen maybe with I don't know. See, Tyreek is going to be hard because if you don't give up Monty, and I don't know that I would. I mean, Monty's is safer, right? So what are you going to do? Like, you'd have to get Hill and something for Monty. Like, you could sell Monty high, go get Tyreek Hill and a player, but you can't. If it's going to be hard to get Hill without giving up an RB. And Deontay Johnson and Keenan Allen and Kraft would be like your only other move or potential move. You know what I mean? If it's me, I'm going to get Puka Nacua using Keenan Allen or something like that. You know, if you want a high upside guy that can sit on your bench for a little bit. Or go after Brandon Ayuk or something if you want a wide receiver using Keenan Allen. But I do sell Keenan Allen high. I have Bucky. Do I drop Bigsby and get Tucker? Not yet, Pistol. Let's wait all week. Okay, do your dribble drills and just hang tight and be patient for the week to unfold, because we don't know what's really in store. Thoughts on JK? I like him, but I'm selling high. Keenan Allen, I like him, but I'm selling high. Just like I was selling high on DJ Moore last week and he didn't show up this week. I think Keenan Allen, I think JK could be inconsistent, so I'm going to sell. Cam with the $10 or $6 hauler, $7 hauler. 10-man PPR, 2 and 4. Love Mahomes, Achane, Hall, Jacobs, Mostert, Braylon Allen, Evans, MHJ, Reed, Tracy, Kincaid, and he moves. Lost 4 straight. I'm sorry to hear it, bro. But you're still very much in it. The guys tied for like 5th and 6th are probably at like 4 wins or 3 wins, you know. You weathered through the Achane bye. You weathered through the Mahomes bye. Evans hurt, MHJ hurts, Reed hurt, all 3 receivers are hurt. You might have to trade like Tracy and Evans for, I mean, try for CD, bro. Try for Jamar Chase. Try for, like, just throw a bunch of that at the wall. I mean, Evans is hurt, though, so it might be hard, but you might have to wait till these guys prove healthy in the news at least before you do anything. But would I trade Tracy, Jacobs, and Evans for Lamb and something? Yeah. For Chase and something? Yeah. JJ and something? Yeah. I would. I honestly would. Jacobs and Evans for one player, I probably would. I don't know if Evans is tradable yet. He should be, because he came back into the game. He's probably the most tradable. MHJ is going to be harder to sell because right now he's concussed. And even though it's a concussion, people are looking at neighbors going, I don't know. You know, is this a different year? Is something going on? 3 and 3, 10-team full PPR, 1 flex. Love, Kyron, ETN, Chase, Hill, Cup, Dell, Worthy, Ingram, Kraft, Brooks, Tracy. Any moves? Yeah, you got a lot of wide receivers. If you only got 1 flex and you can't use all these wide receivers, then you got to sell. You got Worthy coming back from a bye. You got to sell probably, God, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably say keep Chase if you can, keep Cup if you can. I want to keep Hill because he's bye week free, but he's the most volatile. But I would definitely say I want to keep. You could try and trade Cup, I guess. He's bye week free though too. Maybe you trade Jamar Chase. I mean, maybe you trade Jamar Chase for like a Barkley. Maybe you trade Jamar Chase for Gibbs and a player. You know, Gibbs and a Love to Josh Allen upgrade. You know, Gibbs and a Brooks to Achane upgrader. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that, where it's multi-dimensional. It's not just a straight up 2-for-1 or a bland trade. It's like a weird, you give up Chase, you get the Tyreek Hill or the player of that caliber, and then you get the other upgrade. Focus on the other upgrade. What's the other upgrade look like? Not just a 2-for-1. Oh, I'm going to get second player. I want to upgrade something that is not involving Chase, but trading Chase on the other side, on the 2-for-2, the other side of that 2-for-2. What to sell high on Demario Douglas and Keenan Allen? I don't know if anybody's going to buy Demario Douglas on one game. Keenan Allen maybe. Worthy, Dell. I mean, in a bigger deal, give up Keenan Allen and let's call it like a Jacobs to get, a better running back, or Keenan Allen and Demario Douglas for MHJ injured, or Puka Nacua. I would give both up for Puka Nacua. That would work. QB upgrade. I had to drop somebody in order to replace Ferguson week 7. Who should I drop? Probably got to drop at this moment in time at Dunze. I mean, look, the team went off and he wasn't a huge part of it. I like Adunze, but he's a rookie and he might go up and down. I'd monitor the hell out of him. Or if Braylon Allen does absolutely nothing on Monday Night Football, maybe you switch it to Braylon and monitor Braylon. But that's who you're going to drop. Tight ends available of this list, probably Otten is your safest. Once Taysom Hill's back in working order, maybe we explore that. Ron, appreciate your super chat here. You say you have Allen, Barkley, Hall, Kyron, wow. Jamar Chase, Debo, wow. Dell, you don't have to do a thing. I might tell you to consolidate something, but like Amari Cooper and I don't want you trading your Amari Cooper. I don't even know if I want you to trade Mixon. If you can start him, Hall, Kyron, and Barkley. But if you can't start all those guys, I guess I am trying to trade Mixon on the high. Love him right now, but on the high with BT or Ayuk to get like some CD Lamb, or Chase or JJ. But that's it. If you're not getting CD Lamb, Chase, or JJ, or that's it. That's the only player that is really someone that you're upgrading. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's the only move to make. There's nothing else for you to do. You're playing in a 3-man league. I can tell. Hey, boss, full PPR 12-team dynasty. 1 QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, 1 flex. First in the league, I've got Purdy, Richardson, Bijan, Kyron, Tracy, Jamar, Chase, DK, Olave, Rome, McBride. Thoughts on my team? I like it. It's hard to trade Olave hurt, but that would be the piece I want to get rid of, and now you can't. And I would have before the game started, Like maybe hurt, you can trade him if Tracy's involved, because then the onus isn't on Olave. It's like, hey, you're getting Tracy. Oh, okay, then I'm going to wait on Olave. I'm fine with that. If you're trading just for Tracy, you'd be like, I don't want it, because I don't know what's going on. These concussions are scaring people, bro. So Tracy and Olave for Hill, Tracy and Olave for Cup, Tracy and Olave for Achane. I'm trying to get Breece Hall everywhere right now. Maybe Bijan and Olave for Hall before kickoff, and you get something else in return. And the trade obviously goes through next week, but I'm not saying I'm not. I'm entertaining selling Bijan on the high. You remember my video last week? Sell Jordan Mason or how to sell Jordan Mason. I might have a video, and it's gonna. People that don't watch the video are gonna comment and think whatever they want to think. People don't want to hear me; they just want to listen. But you need to hear me. When I created that video, how to trade Jordan Mason, if you watch it from the beginning to end, I say 10,000 times. Not really, but almost 10,000 times. I'm not saying to trade him. I'm saying if you are the person, because I get a lot of requests, how do I trade him if I want to trade him? If I believe in him, but I don't know that I love the situation, how do I trade him? I'm going to make a video on how to trade Bijan Robinson. And a lot of people are going to think Smitty's giving up on Bijan. I'm not. But there is a world where I do want to trade him high if I can get into a Breece Hall, if I can get into a Tyreek Hill and a running back, if I can get into a Cooper Kupp and a running back, if I can get into a Puka Nacua and an elite running back. So there will be a video on how to trade Bijan Robinson, but the people that don't watch it will comment and say, Smitty, giving up on Bijan, huh? People are fickle. They don't understand the world and how it operates, but that's okay because the people in here do. The real ones do. But that video is coming. And it is what it is. Smitty, I'm up by 1 point against Garrett Wilson. I have Kincaid and one of Braylon Allen or Ty Johnson. Ray Davis left. I'd probably go Braylon Allen given the likelihood that the Jets shake up at coaching, play calling levels, make them run the hell out of the ball. But it's tough. And do I like your odds? I mean, I would say I'd probably rather have Garrett Wilson, but Kincaid's capable. of exploding. And Garrett Wilson's capable of being kind of held out of the game plan. But the shakeup, I think, also will include getting Garrett Wilson as active as he was last week. But I think the main focus on this new coaching staff shakeup will be to run the damn ball. So that's why I would pick Braylon. And I think, it doesn't exclude Garrett from then having the run open up the pass anyway. So... anyway. What do we got? Let's open the phone lines briefly. 30-second phone calls only. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Brought to you by theattic.shop. 30-second phone calls only. 30-second phone calls only. This super chat need 5.2 from Cook. If he's out, pick Davis or Hill. I'd probably go Davis, but honestly, it's hard to say, bro. It really is, because it could be either one. We just don't know. 954 caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yo, I'm Taylor. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. How's it going,
up,
bro?
What's up, Taylor? What can I do for you?
All right. So I just won this week, so I'm about to be 3-3. Wide receivers are Chase, London, and DJ Moore is my top three. This is 12-team PPR, by the way. And RBs, I have Breece Hall and Mixon, and I have Dobbins on the bench. I also have Braylon Allen on the bench, and I've got Higgins on the bench. You think I need to make any moves, or do you think I hold tight with who I got?
I mean, I think you got a good team. I mean, it's going to depend on Mixon. But look, he's playing so well. Why not bank on him?
I got Burrow as well at QB.
Okay.
Sorry.
Why not bank on Mixon right now? What do you... Unless you can trade him for, Breece Hall before the game kicks off. Some people are like, oh, my God, I want it. If Breece Hall goes and does nothing again, he got 4 yards the week prior. He got 20-something yards last week. He's under 30 yards in 2 games. If he goes and lays a nothing burger, he's not going to trade me Mixon. I'll do that before the game starts. And there's pros and cons to doing that before a game starts. A guy could get hurt or something. But, would I trade Mixon for a guy like Hall? I know you got Hall, but I'm just trying to give you an example.
Yeah, I guess you. Go after Gibbs
Yeah,
game, right?
I would definitely... So for anybody else that has, sometimes I speak in general for everybody else. I would take Gibbs over Mixon personally, but I can understand why somebody wouldn't. I really can. Would I trade Chase? Probably not in this situation. Would I trade DJ Moore and or Higgins? Maybe. Would I trade Mixon and Higgins together for a player? I probably would, but I think I'd be careful just because Mixon's playing so well. I'd want Gibbs and another player maybe. And do a 2-for-2, a creative 2-for-2 that just makes sense for me. But this is a good team. I mean, Higgins is playing well. Burrow's kind of a concern right now. He's so hit and miss. That's the part that sucks. He's very hit and miss. Maybe wait a week, and if your team, what's your record?
I'm 3-3.
Wait a week, and if your team doesn't feel like it can win, if you lose again or something, and your trade deadline's approaching, you may have to, especially after Chase has a bounce back game, you may have to divide and conquer him into 2 players. I don't know that there's opportunity to do that with Hall yet. You may be able to do that with Mixon. Like I said, I'd take Gibbs, and you might even get Gibbs and something, bro. The way people are talking about Gibbs right now, I feel like you could get Gibbs and Mixon, even if you went Higgins, upgrade him into a player that we believe in. Maybe it's Kupp, maybe it's someone like that. I don't know. But I think you can pull something off. I'd poke around at that for now. Mixon for Gibbs, try and do a 2-for-2 that you love. DJ Moore for a player. Maybe he's got Puka Nacua, ironically, and you get Gibbs and Puka for Mixon, and you throw in another bench player that's pretty decent that you didn't list. Something like that. Otherwise, wait a week.
I don't know if this makes any difference, but I also have Laporta and Engram.
Okay, yeah, it does make a big difference. Now you can go to a tight end needy team and try and get a foot in the door there and get an even better value. But use that same logic, using that team that needs that, and you're throwing them a tight end. And I probably give him whichever one gets me the best team. I don't think I'm like selfish as to which tight end I want to hold. If I have a preference, it will be Laporta, but that's just my preference. All right, bro. Later. Appreciate you. All right, let's see here. We got 438 caller, 438. Where are you calling from? 438, and what's your name? And then Rambling, whatever his name is, stay on hold for me. Rambling Jay, mute yourself. Go ahead, 438. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Yeah, Smitty. My name's Sean. I'm calling from Montreal.
Okay, Sean, what's up?
I'm currently 1-5 in my league, and I have my team consists of Jordan Love as QB, and my wide receivers are Lamb, Cup, Ayuk. My running backs are Jacob.
I'm not writing all this. I'm not writing all this down. So just hit me with the question.
I'm just looking to see what I could do on my team to upgrade it because I am 1-5 and trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
2 PPR.
Name it again. Name it again, real quick. It's hard to do full team breakdowns on 30-second phone calls, my guy.
Okay. Yeah, it's just as I said, wide receivers. I have Lamb, I have Cup, I have Ayuk.
Lamb. Hold on. Lamb, Cup, Ayuk. Okay. Running backs.
Yeah, and then running backs is Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs. I have Tank Bigsby, and then my tight end is Kincaid. So and then my bench players are not the best, but I'm just trying to see what I could do right now.
Who's your QB?
Jordan Love.
Lamb, Cup, Ayuk, Chase Brown, Jacobs, Bigsby, Love, Kincaid. Yeah, you need something, bro. The problem is Lamb didn't have the kind of game you can divide and conquer him into. Cup's coming back, but not probably super, expensive or super cost effective to trade yet. Ayuk had a bad game. You have no ability to make a trade, unfortunately, bro. You got to wait. The time to make a trade is when Lamb explodes, when Cup explodes. Then you're trying to buy low on somebody. Let's say JJ has a very bad game and Lamb has 2 touchdowns and 150 yards. Now you can trade Lamb for JJ. And then if it's not an extra great player, that's where the 2-for-2 comes into effect. Everybody's so addicted to these 2-for-1s and 1-for-2s. The 2-for-2 trade is the forgotten man. Because if you throw in a Jacobs, now all of a sudden you can upgrade him into Achane, whereas you can't just add Achane into the 2 for your 1. So you probably have to wait, my guy. Bigsby should have a better game next outing. Jacobs, I don't know, to be honest with you, how they're using him. It doesn't feel... Brown may have, if he does it again this next coming week, I think people are starting to buy into his value. They may already, so we'll have to see how test the temperature in the chat when we're asking questions and how many questions I see in comments. It does give me a feel for what people are thinking with Brown. Right now, I don't know what people feel. It seems a mixed bag. We got people in the chat that have said he's garbage. It's like, what do you? He's 5 touch, 4 touchdowns in 3 games, I think, or was it 5? I don't know. All right, bro. Wait a week. You could always explore Lamb trade now. Maybe someone will pay the expected price and not consider the bad game, but that's the only thing you can look to do, Sean.
Yeah, that's why, because it's 12 man, and as I said, like 2 flex, so it makes it kind of hard. That's the reason why.
Yeah. I mean, look, would I trade Lamb for Gibbs in a player? Go to the Gibbs owner. Go to another slumping player. Go to the Gibbs owner, see what he'd give you with Gibbs for Lamb, and see if he's got a player that is, in your mind, a massive upgrade, like Achane or a wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, let's say. And
would you take Gibbs and McLaurin?
For Lamb, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
In your situation, yes. All right, later, bro.
Thank you. Bye.
Rambling Jay.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
Great to talk to you. Okay, so I'm in a 16-team league, and I drafted Pacheco. He's on IR. So I wanted to trade either BTJ or Chase for Gibbs or Montgomery.
You want to trade BTJ
or Chase?
or Chase.
Yeah.
Okay,
for Gibbs or Montgomery or Brees Hall.
Okay. So I don't think you're going to be able to trade BT for Hall or Gibbs. That's not in the cards.
Okay.
If he had a 100-yard, 2-touchdown game, people would be like, "Oh my God, he's the best receiver ever." Now everyone's like, "He disappointed me. I'm a fickle Freddy, and I don't know what to think about BT after one bad game. I am so upset at him." I don't think anybody's giving you that. Jamar Chase just went out and had a very underwhelming game, considering. I don't know if he would get Hall because Hall hasn't played yet, but I would try. I would try and send Chase for Hall, but get a +1. Or do, like I said, sometimes the 2 for 2 gives you a whole lot more bang for your buck. Chase for Gibbs, get a +1, or do a 2 for 2. And let's say one of these guys had Puka. That's enough. Give me Chase for Gibbs and Puka. I'll trade Chase for Gibbs and Puka. I'll trade Chase for Hall and Puka. You know, that's the kind of thing you're looking at. Go to the Puka owner, see what they have, and start that way. Reverse engineer it. But, I mean, you may have to wait until Chase Brown and BT explode before you can really do anything. You should have traded BT last week if you were wanting to trade him at all. Trying to trade BT now is like, that's not a smart move.
Yeah, I mean, I put out an offer for Monty for BTJ last week. The rest of my lineup, wide receiver-wise, isn't really that great except for Dell. I have Ridley and McConkey, and then I have at tight end, I have Ferguson and Kraft. So I tried to package Ferguson and BTJ for a guy because I'm losing. I'm going to be 2-4 this week.
Yeah. Definitely a good idea to use the extra tight end and give whatever tight end they want. All right, bro. Come back and let me know what you got later. All right. Phone lines are closed for the night. I minimized them so I can't even see it. I had them open. Now we're back to a few. I mean, I may open it again. I don't know. Mel with the $20 hauler. Appreciate Mel coming in strong. I'm going to get both these super chats out of the way here. This one real quick. Downs and Dell for Devontae Smith. I'd rather have Devontae Smith. His bye week's out of the way. I love Tank Dell, though, but I'd rather have Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith had a second touchdown called back. Promo code Smitty is correct. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Do it live. Smitty, remember I am visually impaired, so I may spell names wrong. Thank you for reminding me, because sometimes when people don't have good punctuation or something, I'll have a little fun with the so thank you for letting me know. So I may spell names wrong. Do I give Higgins and Pacheco to receive Cup and Mixon? Yes. Yes. That is a great trade. I have Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Smith, Shakir, Sutton, Tolbert, Mason, Jacobs, Garendo, Chandler, Rico, Dowdle. Yeah, you got to smash that trade. That trade is a phenomenal trade. And Bailey, thank you for dropping the $20 hauler. You're absolutely amazing. I'm going to send you to Mars.
To Mars.
To Mars you go. To Mars you go. Lamb and Neighbors. Lamb and Neighbors or Gibbs and Debo. Lamb and Neighbors by quite a bit. It is what it is. Like there's both good sides though. You know, it's not like you're making the mistake of your life by not taking one of those sides though, or by trading one of those sides. They're very, very close. All right, very, very, very quickly, a couple more phone calls. I'm only doing 30-second calls. If you read your team off, I'm hanging up on you. So, sell high on Godwin. I would, buddy, if it's the right price. I know you're asking the chat and not me, but for the right price. What's up, 813 caller? What's your name and where are you calling from? And please don't have the show background noise if you could. What could I do for you? What's your name?
Hey, what's up, Smitty? This is John from Tampa, Florida. How you been, buddy?
John from Tampa? I'm good. What can I do for you?
Well, I wanted to actually tell you what's my team, and maybe you can tell me if I need to make any moves or if I'm solid. I'm in a 10-man, full PPR, and I just became 6-0. And I
Finish him. Call terminated.
The rules are rules, John. The rules are rules. We got two members. Jay, appreciate you joining, and Matt, appreciate you joining. The rules are the rules. I said no full teams or I'm hanging up on you. James, you're live. What can I do for you?
Yeah, hey Smitty, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Thanks for all the great advice. Just a quick question.
Turn the show down in the
like
background, bro. That's another
sorry.
immediate hang up on somebody. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here, but when I hear the show in the background, it's immediate disconnect. Go ahead. What can I do for you? No problem.
So it looks like I'm going to be 3-3 with a second week in a row with second high points scored. And my receivers, looks like I'm going to get Jefferson off the bye. I got Dante Smith. How much value has Nico Collins got going the rest of the way? Because he's on my IR, and I need to make a move.
I mean, I'm buying Nico at every turn I can, but that's at a discount. You know,
I like my team. Again, second week, second highest points in the league. I'm going to be 3-3. There's two teams that are 5-1. One team is 4-2. You know, I don't want to take nothing for them, but, you know, I can't afford to. I don't think I can give up the 4 weeks.
But what are you going to get for him, bro? I mean, that's the thing. It's like nobody. You got to find the right trading partner that has 4 wins, or they're a risky Roger and they've got 3 wins and they're like, let's go buck wild on this thing and get Nico, who's out 3 more games. It's a very select trading partner.
Right, I know. And my usual trading partner, who we usually blow each other up if we have bad teams, doesn't like Nico, and he's 5-1. I mean, he's got Chuba Hubbard. I know he wants to get rid of him.
Nico for Chuba. I mean, hey, there's something, you know, something about that could make some sense. I'd almost want more personally, but someone might not give up more. The problem is those guys are crossing paths, right? Chuba's doing amazing right now, but he's going to start to go like this because naturally he's going to share the workload at a minimum. Whereas Nico's like this, but he's going to start to go like this, and they may cross paths. And I personally would rather have Nico Collins 3 weeks from now than have Chuba Hubbard 4 weeks from now.
I mean, he's got Marvin Harrison too, just coming off a goose egg.
Yeah. I mean, I would take Marvin Harrison Jr. maybe over. You know, that's wild. I don't know. It depends on your team, and I think like you could go after like Puka and a player. You could go after Cooper Kupp coming off of the bye, and still the unknown of his injury is not like clarified yet. So like if you made the trade now,
he does have Cooper Kupp. He has.
Well,
Cooper
try
Kupp on his IR.
that. And if you got to give up something small, then maybe throw that in.
Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
All right, later, bro.
All right.
All right. You know, Chase Brown. Chase Brown. We got a couple of super chats here. Jay, appreciate you. Jay to the moon. Forgot to clarify, it wasn't Chase Brown, but Jamar Chase that I was considering offering in a trade. Jay, let me go find your other super chat and try and figure out what I could do for you on that one. Kyle Shanahan says, opinions on Warren drop for Wright. I'd rather have Wright over Jaylen Warren right now. So disappointing because he looked so good in the offseason. I admit, I feel like he was fool's gold. Maybe turns into something later, but God, that guy was amazing in practice, going up against all the biggest defensive players on the team, riling everybody up. Looked like a beast, and then now it's like a whole different player. I know he's been banged up, but non-PPR, would you trade Deontay Johnson for Puka? Absolutely. That is you're gonna love my Puka Nacua buy low video. Yeah, you're gonna love it, bro. You're gonna absolutely love it. Okay, what am I looking for? Jay super chat. Jay. To clarify, Maybe you didn't super chat, Jay. Maybe you. Jay Smart. Let me see if I can find your. Forgot to clarify. It was. Oh, maybe you called in, Jay. I don't remember the question anymore. If you called in, I have no clue what we talked about. And that's not because I have a bad memory. I have one of the better memories. I'm selective. I on purpose. I don't even try. My brain just immediately discards. No offense, I don't mean this in the way it's going to come out, but unimportant information that I don't need for the future, which like your team. So, because I have information overload, we have over 2,000 to 3,000 chat messages per show, you know, and we have sometimes hundreds of super chats, and I can't retain anything or my brain would break. So my brain has learned how to disregard questions after I read them. Just got Mahomes for 9 fab via trade total buy low. Absolutely. Jeez, got Mahomes via trade total buy low. Yeah, God, he's on the list too, bro. As much as people want to run away from Mahomes, he's this buy. Let me just put it this way: this buy low list this week might be the best buy low list of the year. Meaning the opportunity to buy low this year has never been a better week to do it, to turn your fate around. Smitty, 10 team 3-3 full PPR have starting Caleb, Mason, Tracy, BTJ, Devontae Smith, London, Bowers, benches, Mahomes, Achane, Garendo, Amari, Andrews, likely, CMC. Trade idea for Hall and Puka or Justin Jefferson. I'd love to get Mason turned into Hall. I had a video on it. I think, Tracy could help get that done, but at the same time, yeah, because you got Achane coming off the bye. I look to maybe use that if I needed to. I would also very much look to potentially throw Amari Cooper, Andrews, who had a touchdown, into the mix and to start likely. CMC and Mason, obviously together, is, like you have it, is a more interesting package that could get you a Breece Hall. I truly think that, you throw Bowers even into a CMC and Mason for Hall, you could get that done. I think trading before this week is the only way, though, because if he blows up, you're done. You're dead in the water. Guys, we have 1,000 people in here. We pretty much had 1,000 people in here the whole entire hour and 10-minute show. And, I don't ask for much, but we have 217 thumbs up with 1,000 congruent viewers for over an hour and 12 minutes. 218 thumbs up. Those are rookie numbers. We could pump those numbers up big time. And second of all, we have probably of those 1,000, at least a couple hundred, just that's the way YouTube works and the math is the math. Probably a bunch of new people that found us, a couple hundred new people, and you have not subscribed. I promise you this show will be here for you all year long. I might miss some things, I might land some things, but what I can promise you is that the conversation and the being there for you every single day, 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. All that stuff is going to be worth the subscribe. So please subscribe and please hit that thumb up button. That's got 10 subscribes right there. 10 people just subscribed right now. I have the number, the live count number in the corner here, and it just went. It's amazing when you ask people to subscribe. It's awesome. It truly is. And the thumb up button, hit that thumb up button. It just went up. Look at another 3 subscribers. Thumbs up went up at least 20, 30. Appreciate you. Castro, that's what I'm doing, bro. I also would consider selling Caleb on the high because I believe in Mahomes and he's bye week free. So we're going to go ahead and smash some sort of Caleb mixed into the Amari Cooper or the Bowers or the Mason type of trade. Now, if you're going to go get Puka, I think you could maybe trade Caleb if that person needs a QB straight up for Puka, and that's a good move. Do I think JJ's harder to get? Maybe. Probably the hardest player to get out of this grouping of players. And to give up Mason and CMC for JJ's kind of a tall order. If you threw BT in, then he'd have to throw something in. So it depends what they have. If they had a Puka, then I'd maybe do that, JJ and Puka, or a running back or something. But I have to know who the RB is in order to throw in a BT. And I don't know. I mean, you could throw in a Devontae Smith as well. Probably wouldn't throw London in, but Devontae Smith as well if they threw something in to make it a 2 for 2. So it kind of just depends. Thanks again for the super chat, my guy. JJ said Bijan and Devonta Smith for CD and Shakir. I'd probably say it's an even trade, really. I mean, CD's that good of a buy low like that I want him. I want him so badly right now. But Bijan and Devonta Smith is a lot. I'd say if you need depth, like that's what your team needs, you need the Bijan side. If you've got Devonta Smith struggling to start because you got some other player like Dell or Worthy or whatever, then you kind of can afford to do an upgrade move. So it depends on your team. 12-man, I'm 2-4. Hall, Chase, Gibbs, Hunt, Bigsby, Tyreek, Debo, McBride, potential upgrades. Keep Gibbs, keep Hall, keep Tyreek, keep Debo. I'm trying to move Dobbs on the high, Keenan on the high, clearly after this week. Pollard on the high and Chase Brown on the high. All for Cup. Smaller move for Puka. Huge Josh Allen buy low or Hurts buy low or even a Mahomes buy low. HN buy low. Mike Evans buy low. JT buy low. Using those like perimeter players, not the big dogs. I need 20 from my boy and favorite player in the league who's 8 feet tall. Hit his goated clip for some luck, please. Team's 5-0 right now. Big money league. Let's go.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of
Get breezed.
That's right. I need 20 from a DeBalt. Let's do it live. Appreciate DeBalt, who is a sponsor of that clip. You can see his name on the screen every time we play it. Bucky for Dell. I think it's pretty even. I'd rather have Dell slightly. But just because there's some ambiguity about Bucky's long-term value, there is. And Isaac Ibarra dropping the first super chat that he's ever dropped, according to the chat message. But I don't see a message included, Isaac. So I appreciate you just throwing out a $2 thank you of sorts. To the moon, pal. To the moon, Isaac. Trade away Amon. I mean, Amon Ra is somebody I'd trade away if I trade away anybody if I'm getting an upgrade. You know, am I trying to trade him? No, not really. Am I trying to get Lamb? Yeah, I am. Would I trade him straight up for Lamb? Yes. Would I trade him straight up for JJ? Sure. Jamar Chase? Sure. Would I give up a little more to get that done? Yes. Would I like to do a 2-for-1? Yes. Would I do a 2-for-2? Yes. It just all depends on what you're getting. $10 hauler. Team is Darnold, Nico, JJ, Neighbors, Waddle, Pickens, Barkley, Cook, JK, Bigsby. 4-2. Should I hold out on Nico moves? Hill, Bijan, and Nakua are not available. I mean, I'm not trading Nico unless it's a very unique trade. You know, like you give up Nico and JK, and you get a JJ. You know what I mean? You get a CD Lamb. I know you got JJ already, so you can't go after him. But Lamb might be available. But you say Nakua is not available. Is Brees Hall available? What about Cook and Nico for Hall and something? Cook and Nico is a lot to give up too. Nico and Waddle for JJ. Nico and Waddle for Lamb. Oh, you got JJ. I keep forgetting you got JJ. I look, your team's good, bro. Neighbors, JJ. I'm trying to upgrade your QB. I like Darnold. I'm not saying he's garbage, but I'm trying to get Mahomes on the cheap. And, bro, I think you could trade JK for Mahomes straight up. I think you could trade JK and Pickens for Mahomes. I think you could trade Waddle for Mahomes straight up. And to be honest with you, that's where my focus is at. If that's my team, I don't want to touch anything else. Your team's great. Keon Mostert, Kincaid for Dell and Monty. You got to take Dell and Monty in a heartbeat. And yes, drop Ford. He's injured now, on top of Chubb coming back. Pay attention, chat. Smitty is free game. Thank you. Thank you, world. Appreciate you dropping the kind words, my man. Trade Cup and Juju, Hunt, Addison, PPR League. Trade Cup for Juju, Hunt, and Addison. I'd rather have Cooper Cup, bro. You've waited this long. Don't trade Cooper Cup now. He's got to buy out of the way. Absolutely not. $5 hauler, JD5, AR5, JJ Neighbors, Amon Ra, Rice, Ladd, Kamara, Achan. Do I trade Amon Ra and package him with anybody? If I'm getting like Hill and something, sure. If I'm getting Lamb straight up, no doubt about it. Would I trade like Swift and Amon Ra for Lamb and something? It depends on the something, but like I'm looking at the team to see what they have to sell high on Swift. Not that I don't think Swift can't continue, but it would be a smart move to explore trading him high. You say you have Rice, but he should be dropped. So this might be a keeper league. So that does change a lot of things if it is. You got to let me know on that. I don't think you need to trade those receivers, bro. And your running backs look fine. I guess I would be tempted. I'd be tempted to send Achan and Swift for like Breece Hall and something before the game starts. As much as I love Achan, I'm still buying Hall over him. You know what I'm saying, bro? All right, phone calls. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I wonder if that guy wants to call in and try it again. The guy that was reading his team off. Let's see if he wants to try again. The guy I hung up on. If you want to try again, bro, call back in. Let's try it a different way. Don't read your team off though. What happened to the drone? We're just too busy right now with super chats and such. Once it slows down a little bit later in the off season, well, the drone will be here to stay. Like every $20 hauler will get a drone flight. Don't you worry. The drone is coming back. He's right here. I just haven't charged him. I don't have time yet. Picked up Chase Brown weeks ago because of you. Was 0.12 down in my matchup tonight with 3 minutes left. And just like UPS, what can Brown do for you? He can score touchdowns, says Paul. Paul, congratulations, my guy. Chase Brown. Just smashing it for you, bro. Sending you to victory. We do need to create a video animation for that where the UPS truck comes and Chase Brown drops off a TD, drops off footballs at your front steps. What can Chase Brown do for you? Chase Brown. Wow. No calls yet, huh? Usually it's blowing up. Now they're all going to come in. I can't answer too many at once right now. 323. What's your name and where are you calling from?
So Smitty, I'm Brad. I'm from LA.
Brad from LA. What can I do for you, Brad?
How do you feel about Keenan Allen rest of the season?
I feel about Keenan Allen like I think people should feel the same thing they feel with DJ Moore right now. They're disappointed like one moment and they're not the next. Like it's gonna be erratic. It's gonna bounce. Adunze's gonna get his day, and then it's gonna be a rotation of sorts. So I think selling him high is smart if you can sell him high. If you can't sell him high, then don't sell him because he's good. You know, he's got a lot of value. But if I could get rid of him right now with another player, especially I send two players away for one. That
like
is
maybe an Ayuk, maybe.
I'd probably take Ayuk over Keenan Allen. Yeah. Ayuk's a disappointment.
I mean, like adding them together to get somebody else.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd rather sell Ayuk more than keep Ayuk. However, I do think that he's a good piece to acquire, but partly because I think you can send him away pretty easily. Because as much as Ayuk pisses you off, right? He's still hard to like give up on because you're like, like that 150-yard game or whatever he had the other day, 2 weeks ago. It's like, he can do that. So it is really hard to give up on him. And Purdy looks pretty good right now. The Niners are coming together again. But yeah, would I trade Keenan Allen and Ayuk for CeeDee Lamb? Because some CeeDee Lamb owners freaking out. Even if you had to add in something small in addition to that, like a Chase Brown or something, I would do that because CeeDee Lamb's that good. Tyreek Hill, I probably would take that gamble. Trade Keenan Allen and Ayuk for Tyreek Hill. But that's me. I could understand if someone didn't want to do that. Would I trade both of them for Gibbs, both of them for HM, both of them for Hall? Absolutely. All those things. Keenan Allen for Nico? Keenan Allen for Nico? I'd wait on Nico.
I have Nico in my IR, actually.
Damn you. All right. Cooper Kupp, obviously. Keenan Allen for Puka is tempting, to be honest. If you barely use Keenan or you're struggling to decide whether to play him each week, I could take Puka on.
Maybe I might do that.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you.
Later. Sam from Scottsdale, you were live.
Hey, how's it going, Smitty?
What's up?
I get a 10-man half PPR. Thinking I have Gibbs, Monty, and Kyron, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I'm trying to get a better wide receiver too, and somebody wanted to do a Monty and Ayuk for their neighbors, and potentially a Dobbins might get thrown in.
You get Dobbins and Neighbors?
Yeah, for Monty and Ayuk.
Yeah, chat vote on that one. I'd probably rather have Neighbors and Dobbins over Monty and Ayuk. But that's very close because Monty's clearly the best running back in the deal. JK's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'd probably do that, bro. And then you could flip JK. Like, if you could flip JK and something else into, like, another running back, then you just hit a freaking grand slam all around. You know, it's worth it to get Neighbors. As much as Monty's an attractive RB right now, everyone, I think a lot of the people that, and I'll be honest, this is not me digging my heels in, doubling down, nothing. And if you want a sense of when, like, I wish people believe me when I tell them I'm not. I'll admit when I have some bias involved. I'll admit it. I'll admit it if there's some bias involved. I'll change directions if I need to, as quickly as I need to. Like in the case of AR5, how much did I hype AR5 all offseason? How quickly did I say, you know what? I am worried as hell when I watch him play football. I'm excited. I'll be rooting for him, but I change directions like that. On Chase Brown, you know, it's like he didn't do anything in week 1. I'm disappointed, but like it's not like he got a shot to do it. It's going to be a wait until he gets his opportunity. We thought he would have got it in week 1. We thought he would have got it in week 2. He didn't. But now look at him. He looks phenomenal. And the way he won that game with that breakaway touchdown, what do you think the Bengals are thinking? Even though he fumbled before that, what do you think the Bengals are thinking right now? This is the guy we need to get the ball to when we need something big. And he's going to continue to get fed. So I look at it from like that perspective. So what was he? I'm sidetracking myself. What were we even talking about? What player? Monty. So when Monty news breaks that he's got his new contract, and I come out and I say buy Gibbs before this game kicked off. Was I wrong? I don't know, because I still, in retrospect, would have bought him, because I don't know if you can buy him. I don't know when the opportunity presents itself for you, where you can buy Gibbs. I take it when I can get it. And just because Gibbs didn't have a amazing game, he still had a decent game. I want to say in most scoring formats, there's still like 10 to 12 points or whatever. Gibbs still had a decent game. He still caught passes, whatever. But I'm not digging my heels in by saying Gibbs is an absolute smash and that Monty is still amazing. He's an amazing running back all on his own right. It has nothing to do with Monty that Gibbs is the player I want more. But to get rid of Monty right now on the high is a smart move. If the deal is right, and the deal you're presenting to me, where you get JK and Neighbors, and you're sending away a hot commodity right now, Monty. This is not me saying send him away. I'm doubling down. I want to be right. I'm throwing more bad at bad right now to just try and compensate for my saying that I'd rather have Gibbs. They have nothing to do with each other. Monty's fantastic. I don't know how many times I have to tell people over and over, I love Monty. Standalone, Monty is a amazing running back 2. Maybe at times a low-end running back 1. No doubt about it. But selling him right now is very smart. It doesn't mean that you're giving him away. It doesn't mean you would accept a low ball trade. It means that can you maximize, buy low value, and sell high value at the same time to execute on a trade that lands you Neighbors and JK? The answer is yes.
What about?
All right, last one.
I guess I just worry about Gibbs and Monty not being handcuffed together. Just how we have the handcuff board. And what do you think about that with Gibbs as a standalone by trading away Monty?
Who am I talking to right now?
This is still Sam.
Still Sam.
I have
Sam.
Monty.
Sam.
Monty and
Sam.
Gibbs.
This is for your own good.
Finish him.
Okay.
Call terminated.
I don't know if you guys heard him, but he said okay. He took it like a champ. Sam, I've been saying it too long to have to explain that. They don't have anything to do with each other. They run the ball so much in Detroit. No one should take, hey, Monty's new contract makes Gibbs irrelevant. Like nobody, and let me further emphasize the point for everybody that wants to continue to talk about this ridiculously wrong narrative, that even when they got on the same page, we'll use the bye week here. After Monty, Gibbs went nuts in week number 7. He was running back 3 last year, running back 1. Monty was out week 7 and week 8. This is when Gibbs got launched into outer space. They had the bye week in week 9. And once back, Gibbs was 2, 3. Monty was still 12, 13, 15, 17, 15. Still very productive. But look what Gibbs was doing. Look how many times Gibbs was a top 3 overall running back. 4 times out of how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't count week 18. 8 games. 8 games, he was a top 3 running back. 50% of those 8 games, he was a top 3 running back. And yes, he got a new contract right now. Fantastic. Good for him. We love him for it. He's a standalone amazing player. These guys can coexist. It's proven. And in the worst case scenario, let's just say I'm wrong and Gibbs is the second running back all year, and it's not a little bit of a rotation. Of course, there'll be a little bit of rotation. You saw tonight where Gibbs and Monty got essentially the same carries, and they both got touchdown opportunities. Monty's were a little bit easier sledding. That's all it was. Don't tell me Gibbs isn't an elite end zone, nose for the end zone master. He absolutely is. It's just the best buy low in fantasy. They have nothing. I'm not worried about not having. They're not cuffs. You can't cuff them anyway. They're standalone players. Joe, you're live.
Smitty, what up?
What's up? 30 seconds. I'm sorry I got to put a timer on you.
No, it's okay. You dropping Waddle for Juju?
Waddle for Juju? No. I want Juju, but I'm not dropping Waddle. Drop your kicker, then work a trade out. Buy yourself some time. Drop your kicker.
What about Cooper, Amari Cooper, or Olave? You're not dropping them for Waddle either, then?
Drop Amari Cooper? I can't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, as much as I hate that situation, I'm not dropping Amari Cooper.
All right.
But for would I trade him? I think you can make a trade, bro. There's got to be a trade you can make. You might say I've tried or whatever, but have you really tried? Have you sent out 20 offers in 1 week? You know,
well, it's only a 10-man. Everybody's team's pretty much stacked, right? Like,
yeah, I like Juju, but I don't think I'd drop Amari Cooper. But
Okay,
drop your kicker and buy yourself some time and try and make a trade, Joe. That's the best I can tell you right now.
I got the young way Koo too, though. He's a pretty good kicker. I don't want to drop him.
Drop your defense then, I guess. Who's your defense?
Yeah, okay, true enough.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see. That's the thing, though. Is I can't
Damn it,
drop
Joe.
him. I can't drop my defense because it's playing. And if I want Cooper or if I want Juju, I have to drop something tonight to get him off while he's on
You tell me he's not locked up until when everyone becomes available. He becomes available because his game played earlier.
No, he's free on everybody's waivers right now because their team hasn't like all the bye teams. They don't go. They don't hit waivers until Monday night.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, some leagues do that. Some leagues don't. A lot of leagues lock down everybody. Can you do it? Look, no one's picked him up yet. Can you do it as soon as the game starts?
Well, my defense and my kicker are playing for me this week. Like I can't take them out of my lineup, right? And then the only other people I could drop is
drop your
Jonathan
defense.
Taylor. Yeah.
Drop your defense as soon as the game kicks off. Is what I'm saying. What are you talking about? Are you talking about you have if you don't have? I don't think you're hearing me. If you have a defense that's playing in the upcoming Monday night matchup, then wait till the game kicks off, then drop them. If you think I'm saying drop your defense all week long, I'm saying no. Drop your defense, buy yourself some time, pick up Juju, and make a 2-for-1 trade and open up a spot and pick a D up before kickoff.
All right, so that's I guess what I wanted to ask is like, do you think Juju will be gone by then? That's
I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think you can drop Waddle. I don't think you can drop Amari Cooper. Juju's a nice ad, but I mean, chat. Does anybody in the chat think that they should be dropping Amari Cooper or Waddle for Juju Smith-Schuster, who I think is a good option for sure, but I don't know that I'm dropping big name players like that when I think you could probably, if you keep trying, get some sort of trade done. Drop your drop your defense. Go without a defense all week. I'm not asking you to not start a defense. I'm saying go all week without one and work a trade out. All right, Joe, I got to go. Joe's going to keep asking if I don't hang up on him. I'm sorry, Joe. Josh from Washington State. What can I do for you, Josh? You got 30 seconds. And I'm going to use a hard 30 seconds, bro. This is ridiculous.
You got
Let's
it. It's an easy, quick question. So I'm down 1 point. I'm playing against Conklin. Do I go Keon Coleman or do I go Braylon Allen?
Woo! Chad, are we going Keon or Braylon Allen? Braylon Allen or Keon? Vote for the man. All right, watch the chat, and then I'll give you my reaction after the chat vote comes in. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Guys, we need to help him on that one. And then let's go to Woody. Woody, you got 30 seconds. Go.
Smitty from another ditty. Yo, I still got some problems with Brown, London, and Collins. I need to trade one because my RBs are hurt.
Okay, so what is it? What is it? Brown, what?
Brown, London, and Collins.
Brown, London, and Collins for what? You want a running back?
Yo, I need to trade one of them. I don't have a trade coming in right now, but I was wondering which one I should trade right now, given Collins is out. But I'm 3-3 after this week.
I don't know, bro. I mean, can you trade for Lamb right now using Chase Brown in London? Can you trade for Jamar Chase? Can you trade for JJ? You get past that, and it's like London's not far off from the guys in the next tier to be throwing in a Chase Brown. Collins, would I rather have Cooper Kupp? Absolutely. Would I rather have I mean, damn, you could maybe trade like Chase Brown for an injured CD Lamb, or I'm sorry, an injured JT or an injured Mike Evans, or maybe you're coupling something else that's not listed here with London to get Breece Hall before kickoff or to get HN off the bye. We got a bunch
Can I tell you the one offer I got offered?
Yeah, go ahead. Last one.
Kamara for Brown and Aaron Jones.
No, Kamara.
You're taking Kamara.
Yeah. Let me see. Want me to spell it? Yeah. Yeah.
Spell Kamara for you?
Yeah. Want me to spell it for you? This is how I spell it for you, bro.
No.
Finish him.
All right.
Call terminated.
Kamara? Oh, so you take Kamara? Kamara. Are you sure you take Kamara? Kamara. Eric, you're live. 30 seconds.
Hey, Smitty, thank you. Smitty, so I feel like I've asked this question before about the Jets running backs. Do things change now? Like, do you think that Brees and Braylon become kind of like Monty and Gibbs now? That, you know, they're probably going to run the ball a lot now.
I think it's possible that Braylon gets back to what he was doing at the beginning of the year, and Hall gets back to, so they had the capability of both coexisting without damaging the other's value. If that's what you mean, yes.
Yeah.
I think 100% there's maybe a watered-down version of it, because Monty, I think, is going to be way better than Braylon Allen, and I do think Gibbs and Hall are on level playing fields. I really do. So I think that the shakeup in the coaching room was for that very reason. You're telling me you have Brees Hall and you got 4 rushing yards 1 week, and these are the last 2 games that he played. His last 2 games played 4 rushing yards and 20-something rushing yards. A combined 30 rushing. Bro, you could fall down. Like you could literally just fall down forward and just extend the ball out as far as you can when you fall. Like, I don't know how many times the amount of carries he got would get him further amount of yardage than that right there. Like, if he just fell down and reached forward and got the same number of carries, he's literally blowing away the totals that he actually had. Like, this is just wild. It's wild. It's bad coaching. It's bad play calling. It's bad design. It's bad choice of when to run the ball. So the shakeup was to rectify that. And I do believe that does include Braylon. And I do believe it's not a negative on Brees Hall's value. It's more of like, hey, let's do this Lions thing, like you're saying, and let's just run the hell out of the ball, which will be better for Garrett Wilson at the end. I will say this, though. If you're going to run a lot more and you bring Adams over, it might not be as good for Adams or for good for Garrett Wilson as we would want it to be if they're going to be super run heavy.
Yeah, and I feel like Braylon comes out as a winner here, you know, because they're probably freaking out like, hey, they know how good Braylon Allen is. Like, let's get him involved as well,
sir.
You know?
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later. All right, phone lines are closed, minimized, can't see them, done. Chase Brown, UPS video action must be done. Thanks, Smitty. Yeah, Paul, I'm going to do it. PPR 12-man, Stroud, JT, Bigsby, Tracy, Jaden Reed, Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Godwin. McBride, Collins. Need a running back. Who can I trade for? Reed's injured. Devontae Smith played way better than his stats show because he should have 2 touchdowns. I mean, I guess, you know, Godwin on the high, selling him on the high is not a bad idea. And your receiver room will still be pretty good. Sell Godwin and maybe Tracy, Godwin and a piece for Hall, Achane, Gibbs. And I just start there, man, because I think you can. Because Godwin had such a good day, and it's not a 1 week thing. He's had another day like this. It's multiple games that he's blown up. I think you can get rid of Godwin and Bigsby, Godwin, and Tracy and truly land one of those 3 RBs. Or I keep trying and tweaking. Maybe you need to throw in like a Garrett Wilson for an equal that you just quietly like better. Or let's say they're like, well, what do you want? Throw in Bigsby. And you're like, well, what can you throw back? They're like, I got Worthy. And you're like, okay, let's, like, you know what I mean? Like, keep trying to massage the trade a little bit versus giving up if it doesn't work. But I think those 3 running backs are where I'm going to send you. And I want you to focus on those 3. Hey, Smitty, 12-team standard league, 3-3 after today. I have Murray, JT, Kyron, DK, Dell, Kraft, Jacobs, Chase Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., likely a Dunze Shaheed. I'd probably say, and this is me not giving up on Brian Thomas Jr., but I think that people are smart enough to know he still has a lot of good value. And that's why I'm using him, because you probably, if you want to make a trade and you need to make a trade, using him in conjunction with Jacobs probably gets you maybe a shot or a conversation at a Hall, Bijan, Achane, Taylor, Gibbs, Kamara. You know, Mason, I guess, if you're feeling a little frisky, but there is some disadvantage to trading for Mason. I like Mason a lot, but it's cloudy. So I tend to tell people to avoid going that direction unless they can get them dirt cheap. So this is too much of a, you're paying a top dollar. It's not the right move for this particular move. But given that you have Kyren and JT, really wide receivers where I'm headed. So maybe you're going after using Jacobs and using Brian Thomas Jr. You're going after Hill, JJ, Lamb, Chase. Lamb and Chase just disappointed. If you got to give up, let's say, a Kraft to get it done, if Jacobs and I'm trying to think if I would give up Chase Brown. I'd give up Chase Brown as well, or Chase Brown and BT, or Chase Brown, BT, and Jacobs for one of those big wide receivers. Now, Neighbors is also a thought. And I think because of his concussion, and we've just seen 2 or 3 examples in the chat where people are like, are we worried about Neighbors? There's concern. There's genuine concern. Some keyboard tough guy in the chat, in the comment section about an hour or 2 from now is going to go, no one's giving, you guys see this guy giving advice? No one's going to give up Neighbors for Jacobs and BT. Yeah, they will. Not everybody, but someone might. And you got to try or you'll never know. And so Neighbors would be probably the other wide receiver I'd toss into this. And I'd try and do all those. Tyreek Hill I love a lot. Do I keep Singletary with Tyrone Tracy? Need to make room for Jonathan Brooks, or do I drop Wicks and Joku or Kraft? You can drop Wicks, I think, for this and make that decision a little easier on yourself for now. But I don't know that you need to cuff them both necessarily. But I would shop Tracy high anyway, and then maybe that leaves you feeling like, okay, I could send both of them and get like a Puka Nacua. If you don't need the RB help, bro, it's a good move. It's wild, but it's good. Is Tucker or Bucky going forward? I'm going to say probably Tucker is not the guy, but he's certainly not going away. I think that if, let's say, Rachaad White is out another game or something like that, they're going to use both of them, and they might hot hand it, and that would, I guess, leave the opportunity for Tucker to maybe grab more work. But I think Bucky has earned it a little bit more. He's a little bit more, I think, embedded in the situation. But I mean, it could change at any moment. Like if you've got an open spot and you had Bucky, I probably would try and cuff him. It's hard to say. I shouldn't say that Tucker can't take the job, but I just think I would lean Bucky, especially with Rachaad also coming back. I don't know. I think the odds of Tucker taking over both of their opportunities is hard to imagine, I guess is where I'm coming from. Whereas Bucky, I think, could take over Rachaad White's job. It's just like it's 2 jumps for Tucker. It's 1 jump for Bucky. 6-man, 4-2 PPR, not Superflex. Thank you for the $20 hauler, Mav. Mav is awesome. Wide receivers are JJ, Neighbors, Chase, Cup, Garrett Wilson. Running backs, JT, Walker, Jacobs, Connor. Love this team. Kincaid, Laporta, Fairbank. Trade Garrett Wilson and who for Hall. Easy team to work with because you got JJ, Neighbors, and Chase and Cup locked in. Garrett Wilson, love it. Walker, love it. JT, love it. Jacobs, Connor, expendable. Kincaid, Laporta, one of them is expendable, and I allowed the one that's more desired to get entered into the trade so you can get a deal done. But quite honestly, Garrett Wilson and Jacobs or Garrett Wilson and Connor with any choice of the tight end, that should get you Hall pretty easily, and you might get another piece involved. But would I give Garrett Wilson and Jacobs straight up for 1 Hall? Absolutely. If I need to get a tight end involved, I will. But easy maneuver. Lots of pieces to hit that owner with too. If they're like, I don't like Jacobs. Okay, well, what about? Let me pull up the trade or the team again. Okay, you don't like Jacobs. Well, what about Connor? Like, you got a lot of options here. Jacobs and Connor for Hall, and they're like, well, I want the tight end as well. Sure, give them Kincaid, Jacobs, Connor, and Kincaid for Hall. Maybe they give you, the 2 drops back, and you like one of them. But you got lots of opportunities to make that trade with that combination of players. But just don't touch those other players. I don't want to send those players packing. If not, you go after a cheaper option, or you go after even wide receivers like Hill and Cup. And what do I do with Kyler? Too volatile, in my opinion, trying to package K1 and Ingram for a QB upgrade. Who should I go get? Mahomes. There's no better buy low than Mahomes right now. Period. Plain and simple. Let the haters hate. He's not a good fantasy quarterback. He's not a good fantasy quarterback, Smitty. He just isn't. 1, 4, 3, 8, 7. It happens. Maybe you think he's still in this vein. That's fine. What I see is a guy that's got 5 wins. He's 5-0. His team is the best team in the league, essentially, when you look at it. And he's doing it with weapons going down left and right. And he looked magnificent in his last game and really should have had 350 and 2. At least 350 and 1. It broke weird. The game was wild. He's still playing out of his mind. They got the bye week to work on everything. Juju's stepping up. Worthy's stepping up. Kelsey's stepping up. Pacheco will be back potentially soon. And Hunt's stepping up. This is still a team with more weapons. The defense is playing great. This is still a team with more weapons than most teams have. But I think because everybody saw it loaded earlier, they think it's garbage. If he was playing bad, if the team was losing, it would be one thing. He's not playing bad right now. He played amazing in this last game, and the team's winning. It's a very different vibe and feel, and I buy him low at every turn. Mahomes is going to be one of the top buy lows of the week without a hesitation. And it's not doubling down. It's being smart. Tracy and Dell for Debo. I would take Debo pretty easily, Kai. It's there's arguments to be made for sure, but I would take him pretty easily. That's all she wrote for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you all tomorrow. The Buy Low show tomorrow. Maybe the Panic Chamber and the Buy Low show tomorrow. It's going to be a wild, wild week, number 7. Your boy's here for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, we got 30,547 subscribers right now. So punch that subscribe button. Get us to 31.0K. Right now we're at 30.5K. Be a part of the rise here. Be a part of the show that goes live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. every single Monday through Friday. Be a part of the show that goes live additionally whenever news breaks, and also most midnights. That is the show that we are. Appreciate every one of you. And you guys make the show. I work for you. Thank you to all my $20 haulers. Thank you to all the people gifted memberships. I don't know if we got any gifted memberships tonight. I think we had a celebratory message. Do we know? Super chatters, thank you for the $20 super chat. 2 super chats from let's see, Ron, Mel Bailey, and Mav for the $20 haulers. Additional $20 haulers from Brent and Bravo. Thank you very much. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Lift off of mission 3, 2, 1, 0.
One Tank Dell special, please. Coming right up.
Thank you.
Yes. He's Kyron. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special message from the Bruce's mother.
Get Bijan.
Also, we're all going to go straight over to the Patreon. And in about an hour or so, maybe less, I'm going to go live on Patreon. So all of my $10 a month, cancel anytime. That means it's $10. And you do it for October, do it for November. And then, you know, if you want December, I'm sure you get addicted to the live chat constantly. But I know a lot of people think of Patreon as just content, but we really use it for the live chatting. It's basically 10 live chats, 365, 24/7. It's basically all the people, the amazing people in the live chat in the YouTube live stream. So when the live stream ends, it's extending that live chat over there. And we're all inside this game day lounge whenever games are going on. So join the Patreon, $10 a month. It's patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. Let me drop the link into the chat right now, and that way you guys can join if you want. But I'll be live on Patreon in like a half hour to an hour. Join the Patreon. Boom. There it is. I'll pin that on the way out the door. Actually, it's already pinned already. So we'll see you over on Patreon. I'll go live in about a half hour to an hour. It's just live chatting. It's, ask a trade question. I'm in there. Everybody's in there. Just helping each other out. Phenomenal. Super chat just came in. Thanks, Smitty. I think I'm gonna do Thomas Jr. and Jacobs for Tyreek. I'm fine with that. There's some risk to it, but I do like it as well. The bye week's out of the way. It makes sense. Chat, can we get a vote on this? Would you rather have Tyreek Hill with the bye week out of the way or Thomas Jr. and Jacobs? Can you vote on this for Clocks, so Clocks has some extra help on that? You could always ask for another player. Tough to say. It's worth it. Hit that subscribe button on the way out the door. We just got 3 more subscribes. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. We just got 3 more subscribers, and we just got about 10 more thumbs up. We got 364 thumbs up, about 700 people still in the building. Please hit the thumb up button on the way out the door. It helps the channel more than you know, and subscribing helps the channel even more than you know. Appreciate you.
Get braced.
Wanted. 'Cause they're wanted. Dead or alive.